Yo, good morning. What's going on, guys? I have the weekly SPY chart up for us so far. Same thing as last week. We are still overextended a bit on the MACD. Um, but what I really want to focus on is this market is still in, um, buy the dip mode. So what I mean by that is the consumer confidence has been fairly high. If we look back at all the opportunities the Bears have gotten to do something with the price action, they really haven't. Um, they've really held tough, the Bulls, and they've bent but they haven't broke. And that's something I want to focus on now because we are one resistance level away from attacking those all-time highs. We have that 290.44, which was a key level in Friday's session. And then, if we get past that, we have nothing until this here at 292.28 and then 293.94, which is the all-time high on this buy. So a little bit of upside room left. As you can see, our Bollinger Bands are opening up, so we are in breakout mode if momentum does come through. My problem is this right here. I mean, you can fight over extended markets, um, but I don't usually like doing that. It's one of those things where I feel like it's possible a plug just gets pulled eventually, and our volatility, the VIX just hit an all-time our new monthly low. Um, And that's one of those things where if we get one move, that could really set in some volatility and spike a move to the downside. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, if we go to the daily chart, you can see how thin our price action has been, especially in the last 2 weeks. But like I said, we are holding the uptrend. The market is still in swing mode. We broke out of this sideways little trading area to the upside, so we're still riding that top Bollinger Band. And like I said, we are only a few levels away from that all-time high. So I want to look in on this level here at the 290.44. Um, as of pre-market, we are still holding it as a resistance. We're still below it, and our Bollinger Bands are getting super tight here. Um, that's needless to say that we need to break out of that to open up into a trading range. Um, and that's either going to result in one way. We're either going to come down, test the downside, which we have a low of day here at 289.27 from Friday, which would be our first downside destination. And then if we look here on the 30-minute chart, we have a nice base of support, 290.11. 287.52. We have some bases here that we could build off of on the 30-minute if we ultimately reject this level here, and we could focus in on some consolidation levels if they do approach, and that's certainly in play. 1, 2, and then 3 at this bottom here. If those all break, it's telling us that we need to reassess our game plan and that something is changing. But as of right now, we are still below this resistance level. My bet, honestly, would be for now we have a nice level of support here at we'll call it 289 from Friday's session, but we are below the 13 EMA in the middle Bollinger Band. But like I said, those Bollinger Bands on the 30-minute are tight. They're not very good for trading as the range is going to be fairly small. We'll have to see which way we come out of. If you do want to look for a short, you honestly could probably be a little comfortable placing a bet up in this area as this is still held. We're gapping below the highs from Friday. So, risk versus reward, you risking 20 cents for a possible, a dollar almost a share. It's something that you can take into consideration in your own trading. That's something I'm going to be looking at a little bit. I want to see what we do in the next half an hour around the close. If we're opening below the close, that might be even a better idea. We'll look and be patient and monitor it. We'll see. It's Monday. Not trying to do anything crazy. But that's my game plan for the SPY. If we do break this, we have a very solid chance of taking out those all-time highs. What I wanted to focus on was Bank of America again. Similar setup here. We were trading this Friday, but we gapped up with the financial news from JP Morgan, a nice earnings. Um, what was that, Friday? Yeah, Friday, I believe. And we pushed right into this key resistance. This was actually a play I was talking about. This was the play on the weekly last week. Was we were looking for a pullback down to this level. It never got triggered at 28.65, but the low was 28, I think 72. And the game plan was to buy it there and to sell into this resistance. And that was literally a perfect play. It took a week, but that was a beautiful play. And then we also had a play short at this resistance here at 30.12 on Friday. That was the play I made 17% on, but I left a lot on the table, and we'll go over that in a second. My game plan for Bank of America is to see where we react around this level. How are we going to play out around this level? Are we going to take it out and move higher? Bank of America does have earnings this week. Our next resistance is at 30.65 on the upside. Downside, we have this base here at now 29.32. Excuse me. Okay, so the pullback area is what I'm looking at. I apologize for yawning. I'm fucking shot. But yeah, I want to focus in on Bank of America again this week. We are above the 30.12 area pre-market as of now. I want to see how we react around the highs at 30.22 from Friday. But this was a great short. As you can see, we pierced through the top Bollinger Band, which signals overextension. And I got short here and sold down into this level. But as you can see, I missed out on all this, and that's why we use the 13 EMA. Beautiful support, and just a consolidation day for the rest of the period. But we did close above that level into the end, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works out, especially with the earnings. I want to keep an eye on it. Another setup I have is on Facebook. Another one I'm being a little patient with, as our volatility's been a little bit deceased, but super overextended here on the MACD. We did close right below this key resistance off the weekly at 180. If we get above that, we have room to the upside to about 188. But I want to look at the downside. I keep saying that we're overextended. If you watch the last 3 videos, we are a bit overextended, and we're getting a little, which direction, how much are we going to squeeze out of this market? How greedy are we going to get? If we look at the dailies, yes, we are opening up the Bollinger Bands, and a lot of the major stocks have been riding the upside. But how long is that going to last for? How, before the bulls get tired? That's something we got to ask ourselves. And especially for our risk reward ratios, how long do we want to stay involved in these positions? Now, this is a nice position here, a nice setup on Facebook at 180 level. Obviously, volatility has been fairly small, as you see how tiny these candles have gotten. Do we work our way above this, or do we feel comfortable taking a short at that position, on a shorter time frame if we do get there? Even Friday, this could have been a position we got, pierced through our Bollinger Bands to the upside, and no real follow through on the downside either. This is what I'm saying. It's kind of been stale. It's interesting to say. I think it's better off to be traded on the daily chart as of right now. That's why I said to Gavin in the chat yesterday. I think the market's still in swing mode. I don't think those intraday moves are opening up to be available to us just yet. You got to be real patient. You got to attack the market. With like a sniper attitude. So we do have that support, by the way, on Facebook at 172. So about an $8 range. I want to see, do we pull back, test support, or do we break out above this here at 180? It's going to be an interesting week, I believe. I'm going to hop over to the Qs and watch this on the weekly chart. If we open up above last week's high, we really have no resistance until the 187.53, which is the all-time high on the Qs. It's about a 2-point range. Like I said, overextended on the MACD. If you look at all these, we're very extended on low volume as well. So we'll see, do we have the strength to take out these levels? The Qs, if we do hold last week's high as a support, we can look to enter this and swing it to, around this level at the 187.50 area. We have a support here at 180.75. That's going to be our first downside destination. Definitely keep this in mind when you're looking at our setups for the week. We got to be patient, but we also have to not be shy to pull the trigger when we see our setups are concluding. That's going to conclude it for this video. It ran a little long, but I had a lot of talking to do, and I really wanted to attack what the analysis is going to be for the week. I want to focus in on that. Let's have a great trading week. I'll see you guys in chat.